I now mercilessly cut people out of my life on account of the experiences I've had, on account of how I was once very indecisive, how I allowed myself to be under people's dominion. I did not know how to make my own choices. I was not listening to my own intuition. I was not being moved by the painful experiences that happened on account of other people's power, and all that, and my own, my own faults. And so, I learned my lesson, and I changed my values. I discovered values I did not know I even needed. I discovered boundaries. I discovered very many concepts that now keep me safe, that now inform me who I am, that now give me direction, and I stick by that. I stick by that. I stand by that. You need to stop acting as if you're a stranger in your own life. This is the thing. Stop acting as if you're a stranger in your own life. Stop behaving as if you do not know what is going on. Stop ignoring when things are just, you see that meme when the guy is there holding a cup of tea, and in the background of the house, the entire house is on fire. That is what you're doing. When you're not able to observe and understand whatever is going on in your life, if you remain unmoved, if you remain unshaken, it's as if you need to be squished by an elephant's foot onto the ground for you to realize, oh, okay, no, that hurts, that's not okay. You do not need to allow things to get to a particular point where it is it's bad. No. You can arrest behavior immediately, instantly, directly. No, go. I don't need that. You can do that for yourself. You can do that for yourself. Allowing behavior to go too far, and now you're left scooping your brain from the floor, taking yourself to the therapist, trying to put yourself back together. You're so lost up here. You don't understand yourself. You're just a shell of who you are, because you've allowed people to run you into the ground, because you're not picking up on the signals that your body is literally screaming for you to listen to. I keep looking at my armpit, man. It was hot. I was perspiring. And now I'm wondering, okay, I've allowed you people to see my armpit sweat before. Anyway, so yeah, I learned my lessons. I see people for who they are. Nothing can repeat. No cycle can repeat without me seeing. I don't allow myself to be in a state of limbo. I don't allow myself to experience something more than, once. You already have my attention. What's going on? My critical thinking just happens like this. I'm not afraid of having difficult conversations with myself. I'm not afraid of having difficult conversations with people. And I watch what they do with how I bring myself to them. You see, you just see. How are you? I'm approaching you. How are you going to? And of course, you're not approaching them disrespectfully. I'm approaching you. How are you going to take this information? It's not that difficult. That's the thing. That's the secret. It's not that difficult. But when you fail to make a particular choice, then it becomes difficult. And it becomes difficult so that you are able to engage your mind, so that you are able to ask yourself the difficult questions. It has to become difficult. In the first instance, it is never difficult. You are shown exactly what you need to see. And then when time elapses, things become difficult because you're becoming stubborn. Things become difficult because you're becoming stubborn. And so it has to become so painful so that you're moved. Move yourself, friends. Move yourself. You can't. Okay? Okay, I'll see you again next time, friends. Bye.